I think you should only do it if you love it, because it's not all the glitz and glamour people think it is. It's really a blue collar job. You work overtime, you sweat, you get hurt. You're an athlete. You're everything that is necessary, and you're pulling from things that most people don't usually deal with. You're dealing with intimate parts of your reality, political parts of your reality, social parts of your reality that most people don't have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Race in a way people don't have to deal with, gender in a way people don't have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. You do it because you love it. You don't do it because of the reasons people think, you know, I want to be famous. Nah.
I studied directing at Howard.
I didn't know what the difference between film and theater was, really. You know, film was something that was so ambiguous. So when I went to Howard, I didn't really know whether I was gonna do film or theater. And what ended up happening is I talked to one of my professors, she eventually became one of my professors, Vera Katz, great directing teacher, great acting teacher, changed my life. And she said, if you really wanna know about directing, don't worry about those machines, because those machines are not as complicated as the human experience. Don't worry about the cameras, don't worry about the lights. They're important, but you can learn all that. But if you want to direct, the most complicated thing is learning how to direct the actors.
So even though I was, you know, thinking of theater, thinking of film, I was thinking about, you know, being behind the camera or being, you know, in the audience, blocking scenes as opposed to being on stage.
And your first on-camera gig was a soap opera?
Yeah. And at that point, I still hadn't like set it in my mind that I was just focusing on this. I was still probably thinking of myself as a director who had an acting job, you know. So
I think there's a certain fulfillment of faith that doing this has, because you don't have a steady job. You know, no matter how well you're doing, you're still trying to find what is the next thing. And when this job is over, you're like, well, what's the next one? And if I know what it might be 6 months from now, like, what's gonna keep me going? And so that same faith that you had to have when people said, you're gonna be an actor, like that you were talking about, I think you use that, it builds on a day-to-day basis for every little part of what this is. And if you don't have that from the beginning, you don't necessarily have what it takes to do all the intricate moments of this.
You know, I had to have some people that I respect push me beyond my boundaries. And I think that's sort of what it's about. It's not about the characters as much as it's about, you know, you want to spend time doing something that is worth it. Like, if you're gonna put as much as you put into doing a role and take away from the other parts of your life, you want to spend that time doing things that mean something. I'm Chadwick Boseman. I am an artist. People call me an actor. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an actor. I would call myself an artist.